Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to another Wild Rift video, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. The video is actually almost 40 minutes long. So before getting into the gameplay, I just want to show you two screenshots. This is the first one, 209 stacks. That's how many stacks I had in the game. And then the second screenshot is a screenshot of my damage. This game was the biggest banger that I've had in this patch, honestly. I'm not gonna spoil anything. The reason that I did no highlights because I really don't want to spoil anything out of this one. So this video is about ADC Senna. So there's a difference between support Senna and where you go Dragon Lane Senna, and then it's called fasting Senna. And what fasting Senna means, and I'll elaborate more on that during the gameplay part of the video, is where you play Senna, you build the damage items, like big damage items like these ones, and then you play it with some sort of a tank or another support, and then you give all the farm to your support. So more on the way that how to play that during the gameplay part of the video. Let's now talk about how to build carry Senna. So before showing you my build, I want to show you a build that is actually better, and I'm doing this because it's better in the early game, but my build skills better in the late game. So I'm already going to show you it's the Duskblade of Draktar. So basically, instead of the Bloodthirster right here, you build the Duskblade of Draktar second, and then you build the Cerulean Squatch. This build allows you to get online way faster, and you'll start to do a lot of damage earlier on in the game. But I personally love to go for the Bloodthirster, and the reason for that is, first of all, I really like to have the Cerulean Squatch as my second item. Oh, and by the way, you always start with a mana immune. Always. This is like, you always need this when you play carry Senna, because you're going to be able to spam your abilities. And then as my second item, as I said, instead of the Duskblade, I go for Cerulean Squatch because it gives you a big slow on your first ability. Then after that, Rapid Fire Cannon. And see, there is really a few things that are good about Rapid Fire Cannon. First of all, it gives you the range. But secondly, the range to damage the enemy. But secondly, it also gives you the range to like hit an enemy from super far away and then hit your first ability on them very easily. Because your first ability already has a huge range. This one is going to allow you to get stacks way easier, guys. Way easier. So that's why I go for the Rapid Fire Cannon third. And actually, there is another item that you can go for instead of the Rapid Fire Cannon, which is the Runan's Hurricane, guys. Go for the Runan's Hurricane if the enemy has a lot of melee champions, because what this is going to allow you to do is stack up on multiple enemies at the same time. When you're getting close to all of them, you're going to hit 3 enemies with your basic attacks, and this item deals way more damage into the late game as well. So you're going to lack stacks a little bit when you go for the Runan's Hurricane, but you're going to do more damage in the late game, and you're going to be able to hit multiple enemies at the same time. Okay, and now for my fourth item, Bloodthirster. And the thing is about Bloodthirster, it gives so much attack damage, and it's just such a crazy item. Also the physical vamp. The thing is though, with this, you're going to be so tanky, because the rune that you run is going to be conditioning, so you're going to have a lot of magic resist and armor. And then the thing is, with all your stacks and then also the Bloodthirster, every basic attack on an enemy is going to heal you up for like 60% of your HP. It's that crazy. It's seriously that crazy. That's why I go for the Bloodthirster, just to give you that bonus healing. And also you're gonna get that shield so often because you're gonna be overhealing yourself constantly. And then for your last item, you go for the Guardian Angel. In case the enemy does somehow manage to kill you in the very late game, you go for the Guardian Angel as your very last item. So as I said, it's generally better to go for the Duskblade as your second item, but this build is more fun. This build deals way more damage in the late game, but as I said, the Duskblade is better as your second item. So a Duskblade instead of a Bloodthirster, basically. Okay, about the runes. You go for a Grasp of the Undying. This one is just really good for lane poking, lane survivability. It's just a perfect rune for Senna. And then for your second rune, Gathering Storm. It skills into the late game, and as I said, that's where you shine. It really doesn't matter how bad you get destroyed in the early game, as long as you just keep stacking. That's really the whole point of Senna. Keep stacking, and up until you reach the 12-minute mark, 15-minute mark, you get your stack, you get the bonus damage from the Gathering Storm. That's where you're gonna start to come online exponentially. And this is the funny thing about Senna. She gets exponentially stronger. And if you're not familiar with what exponentially means, is in the beginning she only gets a little stronger, and then it's a snowball effect. She becomes way stronger, and then way stronger, and then way stronger, like unbeatably stronger, and you'll see, you'll see how strong I will get in the late game. I had a pretty bad team and the enemy was incredibly good, so it's going to be very interesting to watch whether or not I was able to win or lose, what happened. But yeah, so Gathering Storm. Then for your third run, Conditioning. As I said, early game, you have to chill. And if you don't chill, you're gonna get wrecked. Conditioning for the late game. Because in the late game, even if the enemy goes on you, you're gonna have that conditioning. You're gonna have so much armor and magic resist from this rune. It's gonna make you tanky. And then on top of all the vampirism that you're gonna get, you're gonna be really hard to kill, guys. And then on top of the healing of your first ability, the barrier of your ultimate, you guys understand what I'm trying to tell you, right? You're gonna be really hard to kill in the late game. Now for your fourth one is Sweet Tooth, because Sweet Tooth is broken. Mana Flow Band, you don't need it because you have a Mana Mune already. It's not the Black Cleaver build, so you don't need it. Then for your spells, you go for Flash and Barrier. You go for the Barrier because of the survivability, and also in the late game, it's going to be so good to have a Barrier because, as I said, you're going to be so tanky already. So enough about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay, guys. Oh my god. Oh, okay, wait, I need to drink some water for this one. I need to drink some water for this one because ooh, it's gonna be a banger. Okay, so how do you play carry Senna? So it's true that I actually only made support Senna videos, but this is the first video of mine which is carry Senna. And with this, with carry Senna, basically you're gonna get the same amount of gold as support Senna. And the simple reason for that is because you're not going to be taking any farm. You're not going to be taking any farm. You're just going to let your support take the farm, which is going to get you behind. It's very risky to play carry Senna, guys, especially in solo queue. I'm actually in duo queue here, but never mind that, because you're going to get behind in gold a lot. Your power spike is going to come very late into the game. And you will see in this game, like, it's going to take a while for me to come online. And in the early game, all you really do is just try to poke the enemy like I'm doing right here. I'm actually kind of failing, but it's fine because I have the healing of my first ability. But basically try to poke the enemy, help your support clear the waves, and get as many stacks as you can. That's literally it. This is pretty much going to be the first 10 minutes of your game. Playing it safe, getting as many stacks as you can, that's it. And you actually have to hit the minions as well. And the simple reason for that is as well, when you hit an enemy or minions, you're going to reduce the cooldown of your first ability. As you can see, whenever I hit an enemy or a minion, I reduce the cooldown of my first ability by like 1 second. What does that mean? You're going to be able to use it more often, healing up yourself and dealing damage. It's just, you know, it's a win-win situation. And here you can see I'm just trading HP for stacks. You know, I'm going for the Lulu and I'm trading my HP to get some stacks. Is it worth it? It's sometimes worth it, of course, you know, to get the stacks for HP, but it's not really worth it if you lose 20% of your HP like I did right there against the Lulu. Of course, I'm gonna help my team. So what I do here is I go on the Kai'Sa, of course. And if a Kai'Sa is low like this, of course you can fight. And here, boom, boom! I missed my first ability. I want to pull my hair out, I swear to god. Why did I not get that kill? If I would have gotten that kill there, like, if you get an early game kill like that on Senna, you're gonna be golden. Because as I said, as a fasting Senna, you're gonna be behind all game long. But like, as you can see, I have 1200 gold, my support is 1.5k. If I would have gotten that kill, I would have been ahead, and I would have been fine up until the first dragon. But so unlucky. It's just, it sucks. And keep in mind, guys, you're very weak in the early game. I'm gonna repeat this because you have a Gathering Storm, you have Conditioning, and you're playing Senna. And you have a Tear of the Goddess as well, so you don't have any attack damage. Up until this point, I still have 0 attack damage in the game. So, you know, keep in mind, I deal 0 damage right now. So I shouldn't look for any fight. But the only reason I went for a fight there, of course, was because the Kai'Sa had a heavy disadvantage towards me. Oh my god. Oh my god. He kills me, but it's worth it. See, this is worth, like, if an enemy dies like that, if you just kill the enemy ADC like that, even if the Kai'Sa killed me, it's fine. It's true that I'm gonna lose a few stacks here, but the thing is, we're getting to the late game. We're not allowing the Kai'Sa to get that much gold because she's losing farm right now, and it's just slowly but steadily getting to the late game. That's really what it's all about, guys. So here, of course, the Lux is waiting for me before taking the farm, and yet again, just waiting. So the first very important power spike is 20 stacks. When you get 20 stacks, that's the point where you can possibly start fighting. Possibly. And the reason that I'm saying possibly is because you're still weak. But here, like, look, now I have 21 stacks. So I have more range. And the first upgrade is basically the strongest. Like, this one gives you the most important stat, which is that range that you need. Because your range is so little, your range is so low when you don't have any stacks, right? So this is the first point where you are gonna get a small power spike. Not really damage-wise, but just being able to poke the enemy a bit more safely. And being able to get stacks a bit more safely, right? Because you have more range. So here you'll see, like, this is the first dragon. I don't even have my mana mune yet. I'm just so weak right now. I'm just really weak, and honestly, fighting for the first dragon is risky right now. Unless one of your teammates is gonna carry the fight, you should really not look for too much. Now, especially the Nas is rotating. Oh, Nas is actually overextends. Boom, boom. And look at the way I'm fighting, by the way. Maintaining my distance. Look. Maintaining distance at all times. I am not going in the middle of the fight. I'm just making sure I stay away. But look at my damage, guys. Look at my damage. I'm not dealing any damage. I'm not dealing any damage. This is what I'm talking about. This is the concern that you're gonna have when you play carry Senna like me, where you go for full late game. You're not gonna have any damage. Even if I get the mana mune, I'm not gonna have any damage. I'm just not. That's the simple fact. You're not gonna have any damage. However, you still want to help your team, of course. You don't want to leave them alone. Like, take a look at this. I'm more concerned about my stacks than dealing actual damage, as you can see. So in the early game, you just want to get stacks in team fights. And the way that you do that, of course, is hitting different enemies all the time. Keep hitting different enemies and get those stacks. Oh, the Darius got his ultimate. Yeah, as you can see, my team is carrying this fight. Like, this is what I needed. I didn't do anything here, and yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, you have to be very careful when you play. Oh yeah, what you have to do with your first ability early game is not deal damage. Well, of course, do it when you can, but the more important thing is heal up your team. Because as I said, in the early game, you don't really deal any damage, don't deal a lot of damage. So you're much better off actually healing up your team with the first ability to allow them to sustain through the fight. So now I got my second power spike, which is 40 stacks. And now it's gonna start to get a bit more serious, your damage. Like, take a look at this. Boom, boom. 4 basic attacks dealt 40% of Kai'Sa's HP. It's still not that much. Oh, my ultimate? I swear to God, this game has been the most unlucky game for me ever. Kai'Sa at 1 HP again. So annoying. And the reason that she's at 1 HP is because I have a Gathering Storm. If I would have had any other rune, she would have died in both those cases. But as I said, this is the risk that you're taking when going for a build like this, where you just fully focus on the late game. Yeah, I'm gonna take this farm, of course. I'm not gonna let it die. It's not worth to let farm die just so you can get a bigger chance to get your stacks. But keep in mind, it's not worth at all to last hit minions when your support is next to you, because they nerfed that actually. Like, now the chance to get those minions, I believe it used to be 8%, but now I think it's like 3%, which is a huge nerf. So you always want to give your support the minions when he's around, of course. Yeah, we got the first turret as well. I want him to be here, but yeah, he's not. He doesn't want to take the farm. Oh, the Yasuo is here. Gotta be a bit careful, actually. Boom. Yeah, I don't want to fight that. Let's take a look at my damage, actually. So I don't have the Mura mana yet, so I'm still gonna be lacking damage. But as I said, when you get that 40 stacks, you know, it's the power spikes. These are the power spike that you get. The, you know, as I talked about in the last video, the boops, you know, the boop and then the boop. Every boop is the 20 stacks, you know, when you get the bonus range, the bonus crit. And look, you can already see it's much easier for me to attack the enemy because I have 40 stacks. And you can clearly see that the damage is starting to get a bit more serious. You know, I'm actually dealing damage right now. And another thing to... Oh, I have to flash out. Yeah. Yeah, the Karagas had a beautiful engage. Honestly, can't really take it away from him. He had such a beautiful engage. He flashed after his third ability and just caught me off guard right there. And yeah, I can't really say much about that. They just caught me with the full combo. You know, even the Lulu ultimate, the Yasuo ultimate. There's nothing that I could have done there. And it's unfortunate. I'm 0-3. However, even though I'm 0-3 with the least amount of gold in the entire game, I'm doing fine. Why am I doing fine? Because I have 50 stacks at 9 minutes into the game. That's a lot of stacks, guys. To have 50 stacks 9 minutes into the game, if you have that, you're doing good. Like, you know you're doing good if you have that many stacks. Because after this point, it's only gonna get easier and easier to get stacks. Because the more range you get... I should not have followed my jungler there. But what I was gonna say, the later you get into the game, the more stacks you get, the faster you'll get stacks. Especially after the 12th minute mark. Because after 12 minutes, every single wave is gonna have a cannon minion added to it after 12 minutes. So at that point, okay, I'm happy I didn't send that message. What was I even talking about, man? Why am I so toxic sometimes? Jesus Christ, was that really necessary? But okay, let's get back to the game. So second dragon, you can actually look for a fight. This is a point where you're actually gonna start to deal damage. As you can see, I'm dealing damage. You know, 200 crits, it's decent. It's a decent amount of damage. It's worthy of a fight. But the Gragas is so strong. Look at this. Oh, he stole it. That sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, that sucks. It's fine though. So right now I got two huge power spikes. I got the Muramana and 60 stacks. And this is where you're gonna come online. This is like when you finish off the Muramana, when you get a few items, when you get 60 stacks, that's where late game Senna comes online. This is where you become very strong. And from this point on, it only gets better and better. But when you play Senna, there is one thing that's very important, which is positioning in teamfights. So the more range you get, or sorry, I have to phrase it differently. Every time you get more range, your positioning has to get better and safer. Because the more range you have, the further away you can stay from the enemy and hit them safely, right? So you'll see how I'm gonna do this. Like every time I get a new milestone of stacks, right now it's 60, I'm gonna position safer and safer in teamfights. I'm gonna let my team frontline for me, and I will be in the backline dealing the huge damage, guys. And that's what you want to do on Senna. As I said, I'm 0-4 right now, so I didn't really do an amazing job in the early game playing safe, but it's fine, you know, it's fine. Oh, what am I doing? Again, this was just overextending for me. But look at this. I'm dealing decent damage to the Yasuo, and I'm in a backline. You can see me staying in the backline, just, you know, getting those stacks, hitting the enemy when I can. Oh, the Irradiate actually goes in. Bit too far, but it's fine. Look, 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 look. See that? That's how I play. Look at this. See my range? This is very important what I'm doing right now. I'm actually dealing so much damage right now from such a long range. This is how you play Senna. This is how you play Senna in general, but especially Senna when you build full damage on her. Because when you play her support, you have Black Cleaver, you have the Iceborne Gauntlet, so you're pretty tanky. But on carry Senna, you're not as tanky, of course. As you can see here, you know, whenever you can, clear out waves with your support or clear out waves with anyone else, because you want to get those stacks. That's your currency. It's like playing Nasus, right? You want to get as many stacks as you can. And on Senna it's actually more important, because if you level up, you don't get any attack damage. All you get, yeah, you don't get any attack damage. You get all your attack damage from your stacks. So now I get my Cerula's Grudge, and at this point I'm actually very strong. Like, this is the late game Senna already. Even though I only have 2 items, you've pretty much already approached the late game Senna, and we should look for fights right now. Honestly, we can actually win fights when I have this many stacks and the 2 items. My team actually goes for a fight without me, but they're doing fine. And I like to go Redemption on Senna, even though I'm carry Senna, because it's just so good to have Redemption. They're all low, they're all low. Ah, the Yasuo wall blocked my ultimate. But look at my damage. Boom, boom. And another thing that you should look at is the way that I'm attacking enemies. I'm not attacking the same enemy over and over. And the reason for that is because I want to attack multiple enemies and get stacks from as many enemies as possible. Like as you can see from that fight, I got 5 stacks in like a 5-second fight. So you know, that's what you should also be paying attention to. Only when you have like 100 stacks or something and you're at that point, then you should really only focus on getting kills on team fights. Like at that point you have that many stacks that you, of course it's good to get stacks, but then you can actually completely demolish single target enemies. Like even though I have 80 stacks right now, which is a lot, I still don't have quite enough damage to like solo target an enemy and just like kill a Nasus in like 5 seconds. So what I'm doing instead is I'm hitting multiple enemies, you know, providing damage on multiple enemies at the same time. Even though it may not be the best thing to do always, because of course it's always good to kill an enemy very fast in a team fight, I will be getting a lot of stacks out of that. So I'm trading off that single kill for stacks still. Let's take a look at this. The dragon is up. Oh, they're fighting. My ultimate provides a lot of value. Of course, I'm in the backline. Look at this. I'm in the backline. I got a kill with my red buff. And all I'm doing is basic attacking from the backline. And as you can see, hitting multiple enemies. Look at that damage. Oh my god. Yeah, see that? I'm just being safe in the backline. Hitting multiple enemies at the same time. Getting a lot of stacks. Healing up my team. Just doing what Senna has to do, guys. This is how you play Senna. Exactly like I'm doing right here. This is how you position. This was perfect positioning. Like, there was no mistake whatsoever that I made in that fight. So, if you want to rewatch it, you should. Because that's how you position with Senna. Always try to hit enemies from as far of a range as possible. Nice. Our Evelyn got the dragon this time. Very, very good. Yasuo is in here. As you can see, the wind wall doesn't matter. Because Senna actually shoots lasers. So you'll shoot right through the wind wall. I cannot really fight anymore. Like, this is my limit. I have 3,000 gold though. Yeah, you can see if I get close to that Kai'Sa, she actually still wins the fight. So, you know, still gotta be a little careful right there. So instead of a rapid fire, I'm pretty sure I will go for a Runan's Hurricane. Because the enemy has 3 heavy diving champions. Did I go for it? Yeah, there it is. Because the enemy has 3 heavy diving... I was a bit indecisive, as you can see. Yeah. So I decided to go for that late game carry build because I knew that this game was going to drag out. You can see that this game is going to be a late game. Like, all the turrets are still up. The Elder is going to spawn soon. So I knew that this game was going to keep going. And the fights were pretty even. So I just wanted to, you know, I wanted to go for it for this build. And take a look at all these free stacks, by the way. Look at this. You always want to be looking for these massive waves like this one to get those stacks. And I'm approaching 100 stacks already. And when you get 100 stacks, you're going to be a cannon. You're not going to be Senna anymore. You're going to be a cannon. Because your range is so big and your damage is going to be so much. Like, you're going to be solo carrying those team fights, actually. Like, at this point, you're actually going to be solo carrying team fights. I hope the Aurelia doesn't take it. Nice. Okay. At least the Aurelia understands that at this point, I'm going to be the big damage dealer. There it is. The big 100 stacks. Of course, you know, letting my team take the farm, taking the stacks. As you can see, every wave gives 2 or 3 stacks at least now. It's crazy because there's cannon minions everywhere. Positioning. Look at my positioning. Always staying far away. That was a bit too far what I did right there, but it's fine. 600 crit on the Kai'Sa. Look at that. Already doing these big crits. Yeah, look, I'm not going any further. I do not want to be the front line. I don't care about stacks. I do not want to be the front line. And boom, just another stack right there. You know, just picking it up from the lane. There is a huge wave in the top lane, but the reason that I'm not going for it is because the Baron is up. It's a bit more important than the top wave, because of course if we lose the Baron, the enemy is gonna push a lot against us. Boom, boom, boom. By the way, another thing to understand is your first ability is a basic attack reset. So the way that you can use the first ability and the way that you should generally use it is basic attack, first ability, basic attack. Because what's gonna happen is you're gonna reset your basic attack and you're gonna deal the most damage in a very quick succession. Like, you'll do a lot of burst damage like that. And it seems like no one is paying attention to the map. So I am gonna have to go back, the one that deals the most damage. And I'm leaving, like, this is so bad, because I'm leaving my team to fight without me. And I am the one that deals the most damage in the game. it seems like they're doing fine, and I give them my ultimate as well to help them, but this was really stupid from my team. Someone else should have gone back, because as I said, I am the carry right now. I am the one that has to deal the damage in the fights. I want to kill him. Look at that damage. Oh my god. And I went too far. I went too far. But my damage is just too big. Boom. Boom. Oh my god. Look at this. Look at this. Just look at this damage. My positioning, of course, all the way in the back. You know, I'm not getting too cocky. All the way in the back. And you'll be, like, look at that healing as well. That's another thing that you can do when you're in the back line. You can heal your entire team just like that. You know, shooting your first ability right through your team. And, you know, as I said, it's not always good to deal damage with it. Sometimes it's good to heal up your team with it. The Elder is up, but we got the Baron here. We killed the enemy jungler, so we should be able to get it for free. I don't know what Evelyn is scared of, but I have healing for her. She should go in. Hello, Evelyn. There it is. She didn't actually smite it properly. I'm using my ultimate here just to make sure. And I do see the Kai'Sa, but it's fine. You know, they're not gonna get it right now. I have my Guardian Angel, by the way. I should go back. I should definitely go back. No one is taking this wave for me, so I'm just gonna take it myself. And the simple reason is because the Baron, we have Baron minions. I do not want to waste Baron minions. They're fighting here, but I have my item. It's still fine. Like, we're so strong that we can fight anyways. So at this point, the game is pretty much over. Like, there is no way that you should. At this point, there is no way that you should lose team fights anymore. If you manage to reach 100 stacks, it's like game over, right? I don't really know why we're doing the Elder Dragon. But yeah, I'm just fighting here. As you can see, look at that damage. Why is my team doing the Elder Dragon, man? This is justified anger. This is justified anger. When you're in a situation like that, you do not take the Elder Dragon. You do not 50-50 an Elder Dragon in a winning game. Okay? In a game that is a guaranteed win, you do not 50-50 an Elder Dragon. What you do instead is you kill the enemies first, and then you get the Elder Dragon. I was the only one to understand that in this game. So they just killed me and they stole the Elder Dragon. And now they have an Elder Mountain Dragon. And that means that we didn't, like, it's not a guaranteed win anymore. Because they have 2 dragons. So that means the Elder Dragon is going to give them 62 damage. And it's going to give them a huge barrier. I mean, it's going to make the game interesting, right? That's what we came for today. If we would have gotten the Elder Dragon, we would have just won straight up there. But they got it. So basically the Senna video could end here, because at this point you've already won the game. Like, at this point you can already carry the game, but it doesn't end here because they got them a Mountain Dragon. And from this point on, it's only going to be entertainment because the enemies are going to be so strong. Like, you'll see, it's going to be so strong. But I have a 133 stacks, guys. So it's just going to be me against the world, isn't it? They go for the Yasuo. Yeah, the Yasuo is applying so much pressure. I'm going to rotate to the Nasus here. I don't want to give him a free turret. Because you guys know, after watching a few of my Nasus videos, you should know how fast Nasus can get turrets. So let's take a look at this fight. Let's take a look at what's going to happen. How big is my damage? Like, you can see that I'm actually chunking down that Nasus. Yeah, I chunked him down. I didn't kill him, but it's because he has a death stance. I'm dealing a lot of damage, even though they have the Mountain Dragon. There is potential, right? There is the potential of me still carrying the game. But now I have to focus on stacking again. Like 140 stacks, even 140 stacks is not enough to carry a game if your team doesn't really do much and the enemy has the Elder Mountain Dragon. So I just have to continuously focus on stacking, get even more stacks and just deal the most damage ever. 4v5 Baron? No, no, no. Yeah, the Evelyn cannot smite because the Evelyn had already filled like 3 smites this game. So we don't want to risk it anymore. Like there is no reason to risk it. Just give me stacks, and I guess that's the only way that we could possibly win, right? As you can see here, you know, just getting the stacks, yeah. I only have one more item left, which is the Bloodthirster. After that, I'm gonna be so tanky. Yeah, for some reason, Aurelia is fighting without the team, but we're gonna back her up, of course. Take a look at this. My positioning, you know, I'm always standing back. And even though an enemy is like a huge frontliner, they can't tank Senna's damage. They just can't. There is no way for them to tank Senna's damage. I see the Yasuo there, so I gotta be careful, of course. As I said, backline. You can see that the fight is so hard to win right now. It's so hard for me to kill anyone because they have the Mountain Dragon. Like as you can see there, I actually dealt 400 damage to the Lulu, but it tanked 160 of it because they have the Mountain Dragon. That's the stupid thing about it. It just severely reduces my burst damage because they have that Mountain Dragon, as you can see. Yeah, it's so hard. I have to be super careful. Like here, you can like I'm not damaging them here because I don't want to die. Boom, 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 boom. Look at my damage. Look at my damage. I killed a Yasuo. Oh, I don't actually. Basically, just look at this damage. Look at this damage. Look at this damage. $168 stacks, guys. This is what Senna does when you have 168 stacks. Oh yeah, by the way, this is a ranked match, of course. I forgot to say, I guess, but this is of course a ranked match in High Grandmaster. Well, not that high anymore because I dropped a lot of elo. So normal Grandmaster actually, yeah. Yeah, the reason that I'm saying this is because I wanna give my team hope that we can win. I'm telling them defend me and we win. Because I have 170 stacks. You know, I just want to give them a glimpse of hope in this game. But it's true, that's the funny thing. Look at my range. Just look at the range that I have. That's the funny thing about late game Senna. You have the biggest range in the game and you have the biggest damage in the game. Yeah. I'm telling my team, guys, don't risk it. Don't risk it. Just kill the Gragas and then do something. Don't risk it. Look at his damage. Look at the range and the damage and everything. The Kai'Sa gets pretty much 3-shot by me. That's the funny thing. Look at this. But the crazy thing about Senna is the range, really. Like, that's the real crazy part about Senna, the range. The fact that you can deal so much damage from such a huge range, that's the broken part about Senna. I'm here, Groggy. I'm here. He actually managed to escape. This Gragas was really good, as you can see. Kai'Sa. What can this Kai'Sa do, guys? With this much range, look, what can she do? What can she do? She can't escape me. She just can't escape me. And by the way, when you reach 5 items on Senna, you never want to last hit minions. Just attack the minions until they get low and let your minion wave last hit them. Because, yeah, you don't need any gold, of course. Did he kill him? Did they kill the Gragas? I don't think they did, actually. Yeah, they didn't. Oh, that's sad. If you would have killed the Gragas, it was a win. As you can see here, you know, I'm not last hitting the minions. I'm just letting my wave last hit it. They're choosing to fight without me. Not the best idea. At this point, you have to be at every single fight, by the way. Yeah, I'm telling my team to attack the minions because why is he not attacking it? Come on. Hello. Do you know how Senna works, bro? Take the red buff and carry the fight. That's really it. Like, just take the red buff. It's super important that you take the red buff in the late game, by the way. Super duper important on Senna. Because it provides so much value with your ranged basic attacks. You have to take them, guys. What's gonna happen here? Boom. It's funny, my basic attack dealt 0 damage there because of the Mountain Dragon. That's so stupid, actually. Just an artillery cannon at this point. 186 stacks. Yeah, I'm telling him, take them, man, take them. Come on, like, dude, come on. Take them and let me get the stacks. Please. There it is, boom, boom. 3 stacks. I just wanted to fight her, to be honest, because I knew that I could solo carry a fight. Even though they have a mountain dragon, I knew that at this point, I can solo carry fights. My positioning is not good here. My positioning is not good. This is bad positioning. Look at my healing. Look at the healing that I'm getting, guys. Oh, okay, so here I died. But I have the Guardian Angel, of course. But look at the healing you have when you have this many stacks, guys. Especially because I have a Bloodthirster as well. Like, look at the healing. Look at it. I'm getting so much healing that I'm continuously stacking up my Bloodthirster's barrier. Look at that. How much damage did I just do in that team fight, by the way? And how much damage did I tank? This is what I meant by, during the build part of this video. In the very late game, you're going to be so tanky because you have the conditioning rune, and then on top of that, you have all that lifesteal. So you're going to be continuously hitting the enemy. You're going to be healing up like 50% of your HP with a single basic attack. So it's going to make it impossible for the enemy to kill you. And look at the range. Just look at the range. My range is bigger than a turret, guys. Oh my god. It's so stupid how I can deal this much. Look at this. It's so stupid. It's just so stupid. How much damage I'm dealing from such a range. Like, he cannot do anything. He cannot do anything. I have 209 stacks and we just won the game. We won the game against an Elder Mountain Dragon. How? I'm so hungry as well after doing this video. I'm gonna make some food. How nice was this to watch, honestly. It was so fun to play, and I'm pretty sure it was fun to watch as well. Let's take a look at the damage. 87,000 damage. 87,000 damage. Oh my god. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah guys, that's it for me today. I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.